In a recent interview, the Battlefield 6 developers talked about how they wanted the game to have better performance than visuals, and they're meaning with ray tracing. Ray tracing is in a lot of different games now, and a lot of people have their opinions on it. A lot of developers have their opinions on it, but it seems like we're not going to be having ray tracing anytime soon inside of Battlefield 6. In this recent interview, they were asked, will Battlefield 6 have ray tracing? And their response was, no, we're not going to have ray tracing when the game launches, and we don't have any plans in the near future for it either. That was because we wanted to focus on performance. We wanted to make sure that all of our effort was focused on making the game as optimized as possible for default settings and default users. And of course, this will be across the board for console players and PC players on high-end machines and low-end machines. Now, I'm going to be playing the game on the PS5 Pro. I do have a gaming PC. Of course, that's what I upload everything with here to the channel. I have played a lot of games in the past on my PC that is kind of tailored towards ray tracing. That's one thing they hype up. And there has been some issues with it on the PC that I have. Of course, mine is not top of the line. It is a couple years old. But I've also had those issues on the PlayStation, even on the PlayStation Pro, where there's some ray tracing in the game where it's giving you better kind of visuals when it comes to reflections, maybe in water or maybe in some glass on a mirror or on a window. And that, in my opinion, is not really needed as much in a first-person shooter as it would be in a story-driven game. Now, it's kind of disappointing that the story mode of Battlefield 6, the single-player story, will not have ray tracing in it. I think that would have looked really nice because the game overall has a really good look to it. The game has nice graphics, even though I'm not really a big fan of the color palette they used, but I know they're trying to go for that gritty war look. But overall, ray tracing has kind of been a topic in the community since this was announced because some people really wanted to see it in the game. And personally for me, when it comes to performance, I would rather have a better performing multiplayer shooter than I would a better looking one. I still want to have nice graphics, yes, but I don't really have to have a lot of reflections and things when I'm running around in Battlefield 6 with a 64-player lobby, tanks blowing up walls and explosions and all the stuff that goes on inside of Battlefield. I don't personally have to have ray tracing for that. That's just my personal preference. Some of you may have a different opinion on that. Some of you may like to see some more detail when playing. But there's also been this big conversation from development teams from all types of different games where they're saying they're trying to not use as much ray tracing in games because of the performance issues. Some people have said that it hurts performance by 20 or 30%, and they're using other methods to make the game look like it has ray tracing even though it does not. They're using other techniques to give those good reflections, and it, of course, is helping with performance. It's not hindering it as much as ray tracing does. So I'm kind of curious how you guys feel. Like I said, there's been a lot of talk about this topic in the community where some people like it, some people don't. But I'm curious what you think. Are you glad that this is not going to be inside of Battlefield 6? And it doesn't look like it's going to be inside of Battlefield 6 ever, most likely. But he did kind of leave that open. He says not in the near future. So they might add something down the road. The only time that I kind of wish it would have been in the game would have been, like I said, for that single-player story, because I think it would have looked really good. But for the most part, I would definitely prefer performance over insane visuals. Really good visuals are fine if the game plays well. Insane visuals are great for some games, but of course, you know, your FPS is going to be lower. The game's performance overall might be lower. You might get some lag, some issues. So I think this was probably a good decision. I'm kind of curious, like I said, what you guys think, so definitely leave me a comment down in the comment section. Let me know if you're getting hyped for Battlefield 6. We are getting closer to that October the 10th, of course, release date. I know a lot of you probably have been grinding that free battle pass in Battlefield 2042. I'm getting close to being done with it myself. Hopefully I will be done in the next week or so. I'm at level 50, so I'm hoping with this extra double XP this weekend, I might be able to get it close to done by the end of the weekend. Anyway, leave me a comment with your thoughts. Let me know what you think about ray tracing in Battlefield 6, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace.